Welcome again to another episode of the WSXM channel. You don't know my name is Stefan. So, in Gabon, the Gabon president, which is similar to what the Sahel nation have a military man in charge who is not for enriching himself. Well, he gave a meeting with his cabinet, some of his ministers, and also some of the private sector, some of the not the private sector, some of the public sector workers who is running the country's electrical grid and other departments. So, in this he called out corruption, theft, incompetence, and he asked some of them to resign. But for you to know what I'm talking about, take a listen to what he says in this meeting, and then we'll dissect. Take a listen. Boom. We have delivered another 10 generators recently, and which are in your stores. I'm stunned to hear out of 2,500 ECG agents, you can get these generators started for 2 months. They have arrived and you are not, and you are saying you are not technicians. You don't know your jobs, and if we don't know you must resign. As a military man said, it is shameful to do a job that you do not know. We delivered 10 generators for free, which have been there for 2 months. We would not have lived to this situation with 10 generators of 2.5 megawatt multiplied by 10. That's how many megawatt we have. And you complain, so you yourselves are incompetent. I can't be a soldier in my career and they deliver to me and said, Kalishnikovs, after 2 months I don't know how to use it. It means we have a problem. Either you are doing it on purpose to leave Gabon in darkness, because as much as you are a graduate of Peltec. When we look at the civils, you are all engineers. Unless then the civil, you are deceiving us. 2 months we can connect 10 generators. And we still have these additional generators which are arriving. It would be the same thing. So why ask to redo an investment of buying generators if you do not know how to connect them? We brought the floating power station, as the energy minister said. It is off our course. I think that in 2 months they will find lines to connect it. What do you propose instead? In the meantime, beyond the criticism where everyone goes on social networks and does what they want to give solutions so that we can have 150 megawatt in the next few months. Give me a solution. You don't have one. But you are good at criticizing what is being done. You are incapable of to applaud the benefits we have brought in 22,500 electric meters, which have already been delivered and which are in the long term for Gabon. I think we need 400,000 meters. This is a type of meter we want. Now you must change all the old meters so that we can no longer find ourselves in fraud. If you do not want to work, make way for who want to work. So yes, many we have not experienced that. I say, look at the images that were presented to you. It is shameful. I even want to believe that you are making Cameroonese people drink water that is unfit for them, for consumption. Yes, when you look at the images, that is right. And you are happy to get the money, to get paid back at the end of the month. The provisional administration lead us to the following: the review of salaries, downward benefits. Whoever is not happy, submit his resignation. For the provisional administrator, it is 5 million and benefits. Keep above that, you are sanctioned. I do not want to hear any more salaries of 10 million or 15 million or 20 million. It is over. Here, even 5-star generals, nobody has a salary of 5 million. We reach 3 million when we have 5 stars, and the duration, and after that, you retire. Look at our CLI. So 5 million is largely enough for a Cabanese director to live with his family. I do not want to hear the salaries of 7 million, 8 million, and Colonel and Colonel Stefan, I beg you to apply this scale firmly. So there you have it. This man stated the country is in an energy crisis where they don't have electricity for their to distribute to their citizens. But he brought in the military spent millions of dollars, brought in generators and also floating electrical grid to power the country. Kakamani is not a big country. And these ministers, these workers collecting big salaries and who are engineers, and they're civil, they are engineers, and they cannot connect these generators to give the regular Cabernet citizens electrical power, while they themselves have. So he's saying, why am I bringing in generators that's not connected? And on the CV I have in front of me, you are engineer. So if you are an engineer, how an engineer cannot connect electrical grids, generators to power the country, to help the common man. While you guys are collecting big salaries and wants raised, because he's 5 million CFA franc is adequate account to him to live a life with your family. Not 10, 15, and 20 million. So that's done because he said that a general in the army collecting 3 million. That's what their general collect. Like that's what he was collecting because remember he's a big general. So he's saying, as a civil servant, you can collect 5 million and then talking about you want $7, $8, $9 million raise. No, it doesn't work. And he's right, because you're not working, you're a civil senior engineer, you cannot connect generators to give regular citizens power. And also you talk about other sectors of people using their power, their position to create their own companies to make money, and they hire their companies in shell companies to make sure to enrich themselves, but to do it undercover so that you cannot a regular man would not find it. But he did find it because he found out there are shell companies they are using to enrich themselves. I mean, they are hiding their company in shell companies of the same electrical grid, power plants. That means they're giving power to people, but they're charging them excess amount. And also other areas in the company, in the country, where they are using shell companies to hide their businesses to enrich themselves with oil and everything else. So he's telling them straight to their face, blatantly, you're going to resign for those of you who are caught. And for those of you who actually want to work, I say he's putting his trust in some of his ministers. I say he know them who have been doing this job over 30 something years in the private sector. So he said he know they have the qualifications. So, so this means these people are deliberately putting in the Gabonese citizens in dire peril because of what? To enrich themselves. And this is why we need to get rid of some of these leaders who are just there for love of money, who are puppets, and who are not there to enrich, to to enhance their citizens living. Notice it, all these military leaders, notice it, they're not selfish. They're not there to enrich themselves. They're not giving themselves raises. They're not buying big homes. They're not buying expensive cars and stuff like that. They're trying to cut that out. And he's gonna revamp. He said he's gonna revamp the entire governmental structure. He said that one of the things he said he's gonna do, revamp and restructure the entire system to make it work for the regular Cabanese citizens. And this is what we need. More people like this. Let's hope he continues on this trajectory, and I hope he also joins the AES alliance because he's like minded like the AES leaders. Same from the military background, love of country, not enriching themselves, and firing all those who are corrupt and getting make sure the country go on a path. He's also gonna have an election soon, and he's gonna put himself up as a candidate. He was not gonna just um forego democracy. He's actually embracing democratic rights for citizens to vote for who they want to be continue to be a leader. Because he's a intern. He's what's the word I'm looking for? He's an intern president. He wasn't voted in. He was put there. So now he's gonna open up the democratic um voting, bring it back to democracy for the voting, and he's gonna be a candidate. So people have a choice to choose between him and over 20 different candidates. I get to understand who's preparing himself to run for the president of Gabon. So let's see what happens. I'll leave you guys know who is the winner of that whenever they have the elections. I'll leave you guys know again. So anyway, what do you think about this? About what he have done and accomplished in the and almost 2 years, less than 2 years since he have been there, like revamping the entire governmental structure, firing people, putting people in positions to help the regular man, not to enrich themselves. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section. Boom.